we're currently at the first story building in Nigeria, here in Lagos, Badagry. Yes, we're going to be doing a full documentary of this place. Also, we're going to be taking pictures, and guess what? We're going to be making NFTs. Yeah, with me today, I have LJ right there. I got Kingsley over here, and I got Shola. So they're going to be taking pictures and making some really cool NFTs. And yeah, let's see how it goes from this. Let's go.
Yes, good afternoon, guys.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You are welcome to the first story building in Nigeria.
Woo! Interesting.
The first story building in Nigeria was built in 1843. The very first one was built in 1843. When they built the first story building, because of the urgency of the way foreign missionaries could abroad, they lay hand on the available materials to build the first story building. But later, it was converted with foreign materials. I will tell you the reason. This is a picture of the very first one, built in 1843 with local materials. With local materials by Reverend Henry Townsend in 1843. But later, I said, the house was converted with foreign materials because there was argument and contention between the Christian missionaries and also the slave merchants. Because the slave merchants have been on ground, have been on this country for many years on their business. And when the missionary arrived, the mission of the missionaries is to extend Christianity and to liberate this country, Nigeria. But the slave merchant, they are into business, profit-making organization. And Christian missionary hinders their own business. And so they begin to fight one another because they came with different mission. So Christian missionary now built this story building, converted the house with foreign material because of their own safety, because they began to attack one another with guns. So for their own security, they have to convert the house with foreign materials, which include burnt bricks.
Okay.
Can see the bricks?
This is since 1843?
Yes. You can see on the floor. The materials were imported in 1842. They were all imported in 1842, but made use in 1843. We also have the nails.
Doesn't even bring sound.
These are the nails used then.
Okay.
Compare with the present nail we are using now.
Oh.
Everything was K-nail now they break.
Yes.
They break.
So
Yes,
they use
bricks.
crucified Jesus.
I think I'll talk now.
And also, we have here the hinges.
Okay.
These are the original hinges used. These are the original hinges used then to mount the doors and the windows. The hinges is 1842. And also, the roofing sheet. We call this roofing sheet iron corrugated sheet. Iron corrugated sheet. Since 1842. Iron corrugated sheet.
It's not.
This iron is not zinc.
This is not.
The house consists of 6 bedrooms, 2 sitting rooms, and 4 stores. Let me show you the full sheet of the roofing sheet.
Okay.
This way.
Yo, pause for a minute. Pictures taken from this museum are now available on Mintbase. So stop by our store and purchase all of the cool photos. Your patronage will go a long way in supporting these photographers. We'd like to give a special shout out to NEAR Foundation for the support. NEAR protocol is the fastest growing layer 1 blockchain with over 22 million active wallets worldwide. You can visit near.org to to learn more. If you like this content and you love to see more, you can support us by making a donation. No amount is too small. We are currently accepting donations through crypto, as that's the fastest way we can get your support. Your donation will go a long way in helping us create top-notch content like this. Part of the donations made will be going to the preservation of these heritage sites. If there's a place in Africa you'd like us to visit, do drop a comment below or reach out to us on contact@blaqkstereo.com. We'd love to hear from you. All feedbacks will be appreciated. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Turn on your notifications bell to get notifications on our soon coming content. Peace. The first story building in Nigeria was constructed by Henry Townsend and later reinforced by C.A. Goma to shelter and protect the missionaries from imminent threat. On doing further research, an article written on Vanguard, a Nigerian newspaper, the Akran of Badagry, who can be referred to as the monarch of the Badagry kingdom, said the missionaries were threatened by traditional worshippers, which made some of the missionaries leave Badagry for other states in Nigeria. One fact is established, and that is the missionaries were threatened and they had to secure themselves.
Is that in 4%?
Come on, bro.
Bad, man.
Here we have the full sheet of iron corrugated sheet. You can feel it, you can feel it, you can feel it.
Wow.
And compare with the one we are using now. There is the zinc we are using now. We bought this one, we just bought this one to compare between the iron corrugated and this one.
Yeah.
We bought this one 3 days ago. I mean, in 1980.
Wow.
1980. We bought this one here. If you see the one we are using now, is even more lighter than what we are having here.
Yes.
Wow.
Because 15 of this make one of iron corrugated. 15 of this make one of iron corrugated. I don't know how many we have now. And also the house was decked with planks, not with concrete or any iron rod. Here we have the pier of the wood that were used to deck the house. In 18.
And all of this we imported.
All of them. Now, let's go further. Let's go further. Now we are now at the first city room of the missionaries.
Okay.
Here we have a painting of a tree called the historical Agia tree. It was under this historical Agia tree the first gospel was preached in Nigeria and the first Christmas was first celebrated. There was nothing like Christianity or Islam in the olden days. Our parents worship idols. Even in the whole of Africa, we call it African traditional religion. Our parents have their own religion before the advent of Christianity and Islam. So it was under this tree Christianity was first introduced to us in this country in September 1842 by Reverend Thomas Batchfima. Reverend Thomas Batchfima was the first missionary to first arrive in this country, preached under this tree in 1842. But later, December 17th, Reverend Henry Townsend, who represented CMS missionary, which we know as Anglican Church today. Thomas Batchfima represented Wesley Methodist, while Henry Townsend represents CMS missionary, arrived and met Thomas Batchfima, and both of them celebrated the first ever Christmas under this same tree, the same 1842. This means two events took place under this tree the same year. The first gospel was preached and the first Christmas was first celebrated. This tree lasted for 350 years and the tree fell. 350 years and the tree fell. Yoruba call the seed of this tree Awin.
Okay, I know.
Children call it Liki Liki. Igbo call it Icheku. Pardon me, I don't know what they call it in Hausa language. Please pardon me for that. This tree fell. When the tree lasted for 350 years, the tree fell. The tree fell on June 20, 1959. June 20, 1959 at exactly 11:59 p.m. 11:59 p.m. when the tree fell. This is the picture of the monument that was erected in place of the tree.
Okay.
This is monument that was erected in place of the tree. This is what you see at the site now.
Okay.
Not the tree again.
Okay.
On which day did it fall?
I don't know
20th
the
of
Saturday,
June.
20th of June,
1959.
1959. There's some renovation going on there right now. You may not see something like this, but you see some renovation there. And this was the comment made by Reverend Henry Townsend after the completion of this house, and said this house is strong and convenient and will prove very comfortable during the erection. Many persons have come to see it, especially of the single roof.
Okay.
While they are putting this house on, people came around and they were talking. What type of structure are they putting in place? Because they have never seen such. It's a new thing, new development in this country. Even the man who built this house, Reverend Henry Townsend, said it's been the first I have ever seen. He came from England, but he said it been the first he have ever seen. This means that this house was one of the modern buildings throughout the globe then in 1845. We also have here
Maybe that's what they want to tell us.
other Christmas celebrated that was documented in 1923. This was celebrated with Miller Brothers Liverpool-based company. They celebrated this with their staffs working. They have their branch here in Nigeria, Badagry. And they celebrated this Christmas with their staffs in 1923. The funniest part of this was that when the staff of this company were having fun and enjoying themselves for the Christmas, they agreed within themselves to off their clothes. And it was written boldly on their chests then. Say, 1923, Badagry, Merry Xmas. People do ask, are they slaves? Why do they off their clothes?
Yeah,
They are not
yeah.
slaves.
That question was about to ask, guys.
No, they are not slaves. Because they are having fun. You know what we do when we enjoy ourselves in Christmas or other festive period?
Yeah.
That's what let them do this.
The Birdie History website wrote an article about the Liverpool-based company here in Nigeria that was run by the Miller brothers. And they said that picture of the Merry Xmas written on the bodies of workers was as a result of corporate racism, and further stressed the current day corporate racism being experienced in organizations around the world. That leaves the question, were those men forced to write boldly Merry Xmas on their bodies? According to Revered Daniel, he said those men were just having fun and they decided to write those things boldly on their bodies. Now, looking at the picture, those men didn't look happy. Well, some of you might say that. But back in the early 19th century, did people actually smile in pictures?
They were not slaves. Even what happened is that it's a big privilege. It's a big privilege for you to have relationship with white men then. And for them also to have this in their archive. So they have to do this. That is why they are not slaves. They were staffs. Please, let's move further.
Okay.
Now let's go to the first Western Teachers School. Here we are at the room of the first Western teacher in Nigeria. The benefit attached to Christianity includes Western education, health service, and also agricultural science. We ask me why agriculture again. Yes, our parents have been practicing agriculture before the advent of coming of Western missionaries.
Yeah, sure.
But the way they are practicing their own agriculture over there, different from the method we are using here. So this was the room of the first Western teacher in Nigeria, Mr. Gladius Elix. He was the one appointed to teach our fathers Western education. He was the one that taught our fathers Western education. I keep repeating our fathers because the first Western education started with enrollment of men
Yeah.
not women,
No women, yeah.
not boys, not even ladies. They were all men, grown-up men. And to a total number of 40 men that started the first Western education in 1843. And the school was named Nursery of the Infant Church. Nursery of the Infant Church, established in this compound, the 4-story building. But later, they started the enrollment of children, which include boarding school. They now relocated the men from children to their permanent site. Accommodate the boarding school, the children here, and relocated the men from this compound to their permanent site, and renamed the school St. Thomas Primary School in 1845. This happened to be the picture of the first primary school in Nigeria, established in 1845. To say other things. Yes, here we have the report of Reverend C.A. Goma, who was in charge of the construction of this Storey building. I told you earlier, when we first started, that the materials used for this building were being imported from England. Yes, not all. This was a report of Reverend C.A. Goma. When you are being appointed, chosen, or elected as a leader of a particular organization, you have every right to report back to the organization which we are representing. So this was his own report given to the Seventh Church in England. He made mention about the materials he used, the size, the length, the breadth, and the wideness of this Storey building. And he said, the house is built of sound African wood. I mean, the wood used for the construction of this Storey building were being discovered in Africa, but was taken to England for proper treatment before it was returned back to us in this country.
Okay.
I do ask,
have the means of treating it.
at all. I do ask this question. Maybe you can help me out today. Now, our forefathers took our planks to England for treatment before they can make use of it. And we got independent in 1960. Is it not so?
Yes.
The same thing that our parents practiced then, taking our plank to England, was the same thing we are still practicing today. We have to take our crude oil to another country to refine before we can make use of it. Return it back to us because we can make use of it. I do ask, have we got independent in this country, Nigeria? This is the total cost of this house, £325. The total cost of this house was at 1845. It was Church of Canterbury. Church of Canterbury that was the one that sponsored the construction of this Storey building for the foreign missionaries who were posted from England to this country, Nigeria, to preach gospel. And they spent £325 to put this house in place for the foreign missionaries who were posted to this country, Nigeria. We also have here the geographical architectural map of this first Storey building as at 1843. Here we have all these indicate structures that was in place and also the farmland. These are the details of what we have in this compound. Then
This is the house we're standing.
yes, we have the larger one over
This is the
there.
architectural structure.
Yes.
Not the main. Okay, this.
They took the shot without doing.
So the map, that's the bigger one over there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's no issue.
Yes. Now let's go to the room of our great grandpa, Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder.
Daddy.
This staircase was renovated in 1990. The staircase was renovated in 1990.
Wow. Everything. Ready.
Oh. The wooden architecture in this place is just amazing.
Some people will go palace.
I'm telling you.
Yes, I want to welcome you especially to the room of our great grandpa, Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. Ajayi was a native of Oshogun is saying local government in Oyo State. Ajayi was a 12 years old. He was 12 years old when he was captured as a slave during slave trade then. His son was captured by a Fulani slave trader during slave trade then, in which Ajayi and his family was captured. His father, his mother, his brothers, sisters, and the rest. Later, they were marched to his selling market to be sold as a product. Ajayi was exchanged with a horse to Portuguese slave traders. Then, later he was taken captive to Freetown, Sierra Leone. I call him lucky guy. When he got to Sierra Leone, among millions of slaves that was there, a missionary man could notice Ajayi among millions of slaves, picked him out, adopted him as his own son. Then, he now took him to Furabe College, Sierra Leone in 1827. This Revered College, when the college was first established in 1827, he was among the first set that was admitted to this college when this college was established. Then, later the man took Ajayi from Sierra Leone to England to further his education, where he studied language and history in university. When Ajayi was graduated, he was admitted to theology school, in which he studied to theology school, where he was trained and ordained as full priest. When Ajayi was priested, he was posted from England back to Sierra Leone, where the man picked him then to start his own ministry. He spent a few months in Sierra Leone, later transferred back to Nigeria, where he played a role of an interpreter for the foreign missionaries. He stayed inside this room to translate English Bible into Yoruba. It was the same Ajayi that also translated English Bible into Igbo and also Hausa language.
For real?
Yes.
Translated all those languages.
Yes. In fact, he was one that wrote a Anglican prayer book called Book of Common Prayer.
Yeah.
That we are still making use of to date. In fact, he could speak 19 local languages fluently. 19 local languages fluently. But he stayed inside this room to translate English Bible into Yoruba. This is the first English Bible brought to this country, Nigeria, in 1842 by Revered Henry Townsend. And this is the very one that he translated into Yoruba inside this room. A slave boy.
And did the printing.
A slave boy that has no future, has no hope of even surviving. He later survived, became a missionary, not a missionary. In 1864, this same guy was consecrated the first African bishop in 1864. So he controlled the whole Africa as a bishop, being the first African bishop then. We have something about him here. We have his picture here. We also have his picture over there. The man behind him in that picture wasn't Ajayi's son or his relative. He only worked with Ajayi Crowder. His name was Babinti Macaulay, but I call him Sharp Guy. Babinti Macaulay, but I call him Sharp Guy. He worked with Ajayi Crowder on mission field in Sierra Leone. While he was on mission field with his master, propagating the gospel, he also have another mission within him. Because Ajayi Crowder has a daughter called Abigail Crowder. The lady was growing up together with him. And the guy has feeling for the lady. Now, he thought within him that why will he nurture a lady and one guy from one far distance will now come and snatch her away. So he has feeling with her. So he later got married to the lady, Abigail Crowder, and they both get back to Herbert Macaulay. The one picture in one another coin. It was grandson to Ajayi Crowder.
Samuel Ajayi Crowther was a Yoruba linguist, clergyman, and the first African Anglican bishop of West Africa. He could speak 19 local Nigerian languages fluently, and he translated the English Bible to the Yoruba language. On doing some research, the man standing behind Ajayi Crowther in this picture was not Thomas Babington Macaulay, but rather Ajayi's son, Danderson Crowther. I later came across this picture on Twitter. I believe the real Babington Macaulay was present in, and that is him right there. Thomas Babington Macaulay is the father to Herbert Macaulay and the son-in-law to Ajayi Crowther.
Now sharp guy carry.
Now sharp guy. Abi, can't you see?
Who gets
Now,
sister here? Then?
let's move further to see.
So when
Other-
when he was interpreting the Bible, this was his view.
Yes, yes,
But then what he was looking at the buildings that were here.
over there.
Oh, okay.
That's the view.
Okay.
If you study the map, see the map over there.
That way.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah.
Now let's go.
Alright.
I want to tell you, I want to add this Jara. You will pay me for that. That upstairs, second upstairs over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Lord Lugard office. May have heard about him, who represented Queen Elizabeth of England then. That was where amalgamation was formed in Nigeria, was made in Nigeria in 1914. You may have heard that.
Yes.
Where our name was changed from Niger area to Nigeria.
That's very good. Yeah.
That very building
Wow.
in 1914. Now we are now at the second sitting room of the missionaries.
Okay.
We have here the pictures of the missionaries.
Yeah.
We have Reverend Thomas Bat Freeman. He was the first missionary that first arrived and preached under the tree called Agia tree, which I showed you earlier.
Yes.
He
Yes.
represents Western Methodists. Before the arrival of Reverend Henry Townsend, who represents CMS missionary, and you know the meaning of CMS? Church Missionary Society, which is known as Anglican Church today.
Oh, okay.
He was the second missionary. Both of them celebrated the first Christmas under the tree called Agia tree. He was the one that brought the first English Bible. He was the one that built the first story building with local materials. Before the arrival of this man, Reverend C.A. Goma, who converted the house with foreign materials, which we are in now.
Oh.
That's why you can just say the partitioner with plant there. They built the brand, the bricks round
Round it.
this one.
Okay.
Yes. And here we have the mission, the role played by the missionary in abolition of slave trade in Nigeria. They were the ones that fought against slave trade in this country, Nigeria, and said slave trade must stop in this country. Enough is enough. And this MOU was signed by the high chief, the kings, and the personages, important people in this country, Nigeria, to stop slave trade in this country, Nigeria. And this document was signed in 18th March 1852 to stop slave trade in Nigeria. Let's move further. They have no option because the reports have reached their country over there that they must stop that business here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And they also carry along the chiefs, the high chiefs, the kings, and the rest who were involved in this business. So they have no option.
They don't give it.
And we have here the picture of early missionary cemetery. That was where the missionary was buried. The amazing thing about these people was that they left their country, they left their resources, they left their families, all they have for gospel sake to extend Christianity to us in this country, Nigeria. They labored here, they died here. When they died, they were not taken to their villages or to their favorite country. They were buried in this venue. And they left, they gave their totality for Christianity for Christ's sake in this country, Nigeria. So they were buried at this venue. Total number of 230 people were buried at this venue.
Wow.
We also have one of the chair of the missionary use.
I wanted to ask about the chair. Like,
That was one of the chairs
why
that
the
used to
chair
sit.
hanging on the wall?
That was one of the chairs that they used to sit at the sitting room there since 1950.
Oh, okay.
We call the chair Grandpa.
was the chair always there? It's just
Always
it's hanged
there.
as a monument.
We were the hang it as a monument.
Okay, because they used to sit on the floor. Not
No,
not
we are the one that hang
I
it.
was wondering.
And also we have here Also, the church, the first CMS church, built in 1843, built in Badagry. That's the first CMS church in Nigeria, built in Badagry.
Is that the first church in
Reverend
Nigeria?
Townsend. Reverend Henry Townsend.
Yes, he was.
And Bismarck.
Bash Freeman.
Bash Freeman.
Yeah.
They were all buried in Nigeria.
Yes. No. Yes, they were buried in Nigeria.
They died. They left
They
their family.
died. Yes,
They buried
in Nigeria.
just to preach the gospel in Nigeria.
Yeah. So this is the church built by Henry Townsend. Henry Townsend in 1843. We also have here the safe. This was the safe of the missionaries.
The safe.
Where they kept their money and other valuables. We have 1/2 penny. We have £1.
Was this an exchange for
This is
money?
cowrie.
Yes, this is what they
That was what
they
we
used for trade by barter then. Because the foreign missionary could not understand the value of this. They were the ones that introduced this their currency onto us. But later our parents changed this to naira and kobo, which we have here 1 naira. We have the picture of Herbert Macaulay here. We have others here. Now see,
Let's see this.
No, the whole, yeah?
that's foreign one. And later we also have
I think that was Israeli or something.
This is British West
so
Africa.
we also have here. Please, can somebody take this?
So what hold this?
And we have here this note. We have 1 naira note. This 1 naira was competing with it was equivalent to £1 then. Here we have other. We have 5 naira. We have 20 naira,
50 kobo.
50 kobo, and the rest.
Ooh, this is heavy.
Just feel it.
Just get with it.
Are you taking?
Sorry.
This is
Wow.
50 kobo.
Yes.
I've never seen this before.
Wow.
Oh
50
my
kobo
God,
notes.
I have
Yes.
never seen 50 kobo note before. Look at it. Look at it.
So these are notes I've never seen before. This is the 50 kobo notes. This is the 50 kobo notes.
We have many currencies in this country.
Many.
This is 50 kobo. And let me look at the date on this.
Our history is
I
long.
don't know if they wrote the date.
It's long.
Very.
Not just long, the long.
Okay, the director of
Elongated.
domestic operations then. CBN. I don't know. I don't think it was Nigeria Bank of was being Central Bank.
Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay, Central Bank. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, there was Central Bank then. So this is the 5 naira notes. I think I saw this. This is the 50 kobo notes. Like, this is the first time I'm ever coming across it. This, I mean, I don't know.
It's a relic, bro.
Yeah, it's rare, like very rare.
And it's beautiful. It's better than our present note.
I'm not even sure Central Bank has any of these now. Maybe it will be in one of their gallery or something.
Almost looking like a dollar paper note.
And yes, I think that one. Do you have the 1 for 1 naira?
Oh, yeah. They are.
So this
them,
1 naira back in the day was equivalent to £1. When naira had value, well, 1 naira now is equivalent to.
Yeah.
Check Google.
£1,000.
One naira is just.
Man, so let's continue.
The miracle was dug in 1842. This happened to be their first project when they arrived this country, Nigeria.
Wow.
They knew that they can't survive without water. They can survive without food for some days, but without water they can't survive. So they have to lay hand on this. Happened to be their first project. which tag this where the first missionaries were. Since when this well has been dug, the water in doesn't dry, doesn't get polluted. You know that Lagos State is surrounded by water. We have lagoon, we have Atlantic Ocean. Lagoon changes color twice in a year. They do pollute all that way in Badagry, except this particular one. And also the taste of Atlantic Ocean takes salty. They do also affect all of that way as well. The same color, the same taste you see in Lagoon and Atlantic Ocean, that's what we experience in all of that way in Badagry here, except this particular one. It's tasteless, it's colorless, it's timeless.
Till now.
Till now. People, the tourists who do visit this place said, since the water in doesn't dry, doesn't get polluted, there must be a power behind the water. That the power of God will be the source of the water. And also the anointing of the missionaries who dug the well were still effective on the water. They drank the water with faith, pray with it, make their request, and God answers their prayer. Those who God have answered their prayer were the ones that returned back here and said, sir, this well is not only the first missionary well, but a miracle well. They have testimonies, many testimonies behind this. So it was thought that changed the name to Miracle Well. You can draw out the water to see the color.
So, like, how long did it take them to construct this well?
Just within days.
Days, wow.
Wow.
See how pure it is. So come and check this out.
Clean, pure. Look how clean it is.
Clear. Crystal clear.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is.
I mean, I'm not wash hand.
I go drink
have
am now.
to. This anointing of this water and this water heals.
It tastes good.
Water washes away every disease, sicknesses, anything. And I
See this guy.
the anointing of this water
This is amazing.
and let this water heal every disease, sickness, whatever that needs to
The
be.
water
cleansed in
is
my
very clean.
command it to be done.
Very, very clean.
Tasty shit, man. That's for real.
I'm telling you, the water is clean.
I can wash it.
Wow.
I'm healed, brother. God just
Wow.
heal me, brother.
You know, go by this.
That means
I don't wash
was that
my
year. That time I was too much strong. That was too much strong. That time is a good time for me.
I don't wash my hand for money. Oh.
Let the millions start coming in.
Yeah.
That was the place of the church where the first church was built.
Okay.
That place demarcated. That was what the picture of the church you saw up there. That was where the first church was built. And also,
Okay, what was the money?
yes, no, he fell on his own. The church fell on 1911.
Wow.
1911. And also, the schoolmaster, that was the first classroom or the first set of the primary school, established in 1843, nursery of the infant church, before the boarding school over there. That's somebody over there. That was the boarding school for the children. Later, this school was moved from this compound to its permanent site named St. Thomas Primary School.
Yeah.
And why they accommodated the children in boarding school. Thank you. God bless you. You are welcome.
All right.
My name is Revered Daniel.
All right. Thank you
God
very
bless
much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Bless you. You're welcome.
Okay, yeah. So we just finished a tour guide on the first story building in Nigeria. It was actually handled by Revered Daniel, and we are heading over to the next site, the next museum, where we'll be reviewing. That's actually a secret for now. We don't know what to expect there, but it's going to be a total thrill. So just come along with us as we continue the journey forward, and we reveal a whole lot of secrets that you guys haven't really come across before. So yeah, let's get to this.
Ready? Action.
Okay, yeah. So we just finished the tour guide on the first story building in Nigeria. It was a tour that was guided. Cut. I'm not really again.
model of the year.
LJ and next, come in.
What am I doing? Yeah, that's top, baby.
Just sit down, man.
Walking. Alright. Walking. That's walking, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. What's wrong with these two people? Hermes is what?
What's up, man? Let's get this.
Many have used the water for prayer and God has answered their prayer. If you can taste the water, take it home, you have faith like others. I believe. When the thing blue, just try to remember.
Okay, like we're going to do something dramatic.
Sit there. Oh yeah. Avengers!
Assemble!
All right.
Assemble.
Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Turn on your notifications bell to get notifications on our soon coming content. Peace.